Hi everyone, welcome to this video. Now in this video, we're going to be discussing exactly how we can diagnose slowness in our applications using the network tab. This network tab is this really nifty tool which allows us to understand the performance of our web application and a page in really granular detail. And the way it does so is by helping us to understand how long things are taking to be downloaded on the page, how much stuff is being downloaded on the page, and also exactly what is being downloaded on the page. So let's jump into this video and get started with really understanding what we're talking about in a bit more detail. So I'm sitting now on this profile search page in our social network application where I can filter profiles and then add them as friends or message them. Now I want to understand the load speed of this page and the elements within it, including the network requests and how long they take. And the way that I access and view this information is I right click, I click on inspect, and then I click on the network tab. Now initially there isn't any information here, so I need to refresh this page, and what it will do is it will record all the requests as it comes in and capture it here. What I can see now is every single network request, including the size of information that was brought onto the page and the time it took. On the right-hand side here, I can see the waterfall report. And if I go down to 1 and hover over it, I get a breakdown of exactly how long it took and some other information surrounding that. Now, this initial waterfall report, as we see it, is quite confusing, frankly, to understand. There's a lot of information which isn't really relevant to us. So what we use is we use this filter, fetch XHR. And what this does is it filters the requests to only include the downloaded information. And that's useful for us because we can more easily relate it to the actions that we as developers have undertaken in our editor. So let's walk through an example of exactly what I mean here. So we can see here we've got these M searches. An M search relates to a search that we have set up. So for example, I've set up a search in my Bubble editor to display this repeating group of profiles. But I want to understand exactly how long this search takes to display on the page. So if I click on this M search over here and I break out responses and I break out this one, and then I click on this one again and continue to break down, I can see that it brings up all of these ones. Now it brings up 10, and the reason why it brings up 10 despite me seeing 11 results here is because I already have my current user profile being displayed. That just means that the current user profile doesn't need to be downloaded again. Now I can see here that a information of user and this ID has been downloaded on the page. And if I open it up, there is someone called Claire Stephen, and I can see that this is number 6, which relates to number 5 as we're starting from 0. So what I'm doing here is I'm relating this M search over here to this search that we've set up in our editor. And what I can see if I close this one is that this search took this amount of time to be downloaded and displayed on the page. Now, why is that useful information to me? What I can do now is I can actually jump back into my Bubble editor and I can click on this page and I can see this search. And what we can actually do is we can modify the way that we set up this search and then refresh this page and view the impact on page load speed. So by relating this, we can start to understand how the way we set up our search impact the performance of our application. And in our next videos, what we're actually going to be doing is we're going to be going through this page and going over ways in which we can optimize it. And by doing so, we will start to see benefits not only in this network tab where we will see an improvement in speed, but also in our app metrics where we will start to see an improvement in the amount of workload units that we're using. Specifically, we will hope to see a reduction in the number of workload units. So that is just how we can relate to changes that we make in the editor and how that relates to our network tab and page load speed.